Thank you, Ritesh. The Australian Acting High Commissioner, Ms. Anna Downey, the Australia Pacific Training Coalition Chief Academic Officer, Ms. Helen Wiesen, Government Secretary, Senior Staff, Heads of Schools of the Ministry of Education, our development partners from DFED and the facility. I was told that the Acting Director of the Fiji Higher Education Commission would be here. I don't see him, but I'd still like to acknowledge him and the work that they do at the Higher Education Commission. Chief Executive Officer of the Fiji Registration Authority, representatives, teachers, industry and standard stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and of course a big Nisambula Binakatiwa. Initially we had thought that we would award certificates to the graduating students, but then the idea was to put a face to the name that would go with the certificate. And I'm indeed grateful to be here this morning to hand you your completion certificates, Diploma of Counseling Program. So first of all, congratulations are in order. I know it's not easy teaching and gaining a added qualification, but I'm sure this will take you a long, long way in your teaching career. And as counselors, who will now be tasked to look after the psychosocial support side of our students. And I don't know how many of us right now have the time to actually balance between work and studies. So I must say hats off to you for sacrificing your time, your family time, your personal time, and your families for standing by with you in order to help you complete your diplomas. Of course, what's added to that, it's an Australian recognized qualification. And I'm sure this makes you even more proud of your achievements today. So I would like all of us to put our hands together for our partners, and let us also acknowledge APTC, teaching staff, your work colleagues and your families for your unwavering support throughout your journey towards the completion of that. And of course, this is a wonderful beginning to the year 2021. Last week I was at the 5th anniversary celebrations for the Chinese Cultural Center, and I said, this is one year that we must look up to hope. And what a good way to start the year. I understand we are still reeling from the effects of this IASA and COVID, but we need to find small things in life that we should celebrate. And today, your hard work and our partnerships have given us that reason to celebrate. And I think all of us in this room should be proud of how far we have come. Ladies and gentlemen, if we go back and go back to our school days, there must have been one person who made a huge difference in your life. And that would have probably been your parents, your guardians, and of course teachers. So the role of teachers, not only as teachers, but as guides, as mentors, as counselors, should encompass everything that a teacher is supposed to do. I can't say, or you can't say, oh, I'm a maths teacher, or I'm a physics teacher, or I'm a PMEC teacher. We need teachers to be fulfilling that, what should I say, the role holistically. I mean, I know Ms. Wong here for long, and she's one of our counselors, one of the names that I can put to the counseling position. We recognize the need to have counselors in this day and age. And that is, I think, a very progressive step in our partnerships with the Australian government to see that we provide that kind of support to our students in school. We're starting off with 35, but all in all, every school has a child protection officer. Not wholly trained and fully trained, but I'm sure this is the way forward for all our child protection officers to be fully fledged counselors in their schools. And I'm sure the work that you will do will be, what should I say, will sort of motivate the other teachers out in the field to take up counseling. Counseling as a career has never been a choice of most of our students. For some reasons, I don't know. Everybody wants to become a teacher. Nobody wants to become a counselor. And you and I, we both know why. Teaching has become very complicated and very complex in this day and age, with the needs of the students, the social backgrounds of the children, the impact that technology, social media, peer pressure has on them. So now you have a dual role. You'll be a teacher, you'll be a guide, you'll be a mentor, and you'll be a counselor as well. I can tell you it's not going to be easy, but I'm sure you have been coached well, you have been trained well, and you will just do a wonderful job out there for your schools and your communities. We have children who go through a lot of traumatic experiences. I mean, as adults, we also go through traumatic experiences. So if that is not addressed in the early childhood days, you and I can understand the impact it has on a child who grows up into an adult. That's where your role comes in, dealing with the psychosocial support side of education, and that is very important. If we look at the reports by the National Substance Abuse and Advisory Council, there are a lot of factors. The report clearly indicates a lot of factors that affect the teaching and learning. It's not only learning, it's also teaching. Because if you spend half the time counseling your children, talking to parents, where does the time for teaching come in? So the psychosocial part of it basically comes because of abuse at home. That could be parental negligence in terms of parents, sometimes child labor, sometimes lack of financial income, drug abuse, peer pressure, physical bullying, cyberbullying, and all of that can lead to a child not performing well at school. And many a times we look at the academic side of things. We sort of ignore the social, the mental side of a child's upbringing. So you will be that link now. You'll be the link in the school with the child, you'll be the link with the parents. And I urge you to do your responsibilities with much commitment and dedication. Coming to the impacts of natural disasters. I mean, we haven't forgotten what DC Winston did to our children and families. We're still in that, some of our children are still in that state. And with that, if you look at north and some of the parts of the eastern areas that have been affected by DC Winston, our work is much harder now. While we want children to come to school, we also want to provide them with this psychosocial support. So not only you, but I'm sure that all the teachers that will be welcoming their children to school from the 19th will keep that in mind and ensure that the child is ready to be taught. Teaching component can come later. Welcoming them in school, identifying their needs, providing assistance to them, engaging with the parents and the community. There's a lot of assistance out there. And I would love to see the heads of schools and teachers step into that support that we have CSOs, we have NGOs, and we have all our partners trying their best to ensure that our children return to school and in a normal situation. As a ministry, we remain committed to assisting you and our children to create that enabling learning environment. I know when some students in the north will return to school on Tuesday, they will not find their school as they left when they went for holidays. Getting them adapted to that school environment, the learning spaces, and if they see the damages done to their classrooms, the artwork damage, the furniture's damage. I was in Raketi 2 weeks ago, and it was about 6 o'clock when I went to that school, so a whole lot of children ran. And they took me by the hand and they showed me the classroom. Said, this was my classroom, 3A. Ma'am, it's gone. That's where I was sitting. The furniture has gone. That was the artwork on the wall that got damaged by side. It's not their fault. We need to bring them out of the trauma. And this is where the psychosocial support, this is where your work comes in. And I'm sure as teachers, even though we may not have the counseling training done, all of us are adults. And the experiences in our lives and the experiences within our schools have sort of prepared us to deal with our children when they come in. I mean, some children will come wanting to know where the classroom is. And when you tell them that they are going to study in a temporary learning space, they might not take it that well. But that's the role of the teachers. Welcome the children with open arms, provide them with hope and guidance, because that is what they need. So basically what I'm trying to say is your role as counselors is to heal the traumatic wound. They've lost their homes, they lost their uniforms, they lost their school bag that they must be treasuring, they lost the exercise book. So how do you restore the mental health of your children? You will use the knowledge that you have gained, you use the guidance that you have gained to ensure that you restore their mental stability, mental health. So this year we recognized counseling, and we recognized the need for psychosocial support in schools, and that's why this year we allocated for the first time 50 national topper scholarship for diploma in counseling program for the year 2021. I hope that more teachers take that up. Okay, it's a topper scholarship, so there are criteria that the TSLB will be. I think they've already announced that. Encourage your students to take up. Encourage your students to take up this. A lot of them want to become teachers, but we need graduates in those fields where there's a need, and there is a need in this. So we've allocated 50 national topper scholarship for year 13 students to take up diploma in counseling for the 2021. And basically today is a happy day, and I know I don't want to spoil your graduation, and I'm still receiving calls from teachers and communities. When does school start? Well, school starts on the 18th. We have to start somewhere. We will welcome whatever children, maybe if your attendance is 50%, that's an achievement. In the Central Division, Western, we expect every child to attend school from the 19th. But in the Northern Division, if 2 children come to your class, you as a teacher should know there's some issues out there. We said they can come in civilian clothes. We said we are not going to pressure them into shoes and other normal requirements for the school year. There's a lot of assistance out there, and I'd also like to thank once again DFET for all the assistance that we've provided, school stationery, school bags, and they've just come on board. I'm just so overwhelmed by the support that we've been given. But yesterday I found out that when we announced that we are going to assist close to 6,000 students with stationery and school bags, that information is not filtered. So to the north, teachers who have traveled from the north, can you please spread the word around? From the clusters that have been damaged, we've had a lot of NGOs and stakeholder meetings. Close to 6,000 students we are willing to support. So if that message can go out through you and the media as well, so that parents don't spend that money buying school bags and stationery. I think this week we will also announce, I don't know whether I'll get an opportunity to announce later or not, but the Fiji Military Forces has also, Republic of the Fiji Military Forces has also come on board to assist 700 students with uniform and shoes. So that we should be able, that message should be able to go out today. We, in partnership with the commander, will be making a release soon. So what I'm trying to say here is, what we need right now is support. Support in any form for those disadvantaged, affected families through COVID and PCS. So life is not easy, okay? But we, as responsible members of the community, as teachers, we have to make sure that we provide the much needed support, whether it's whichever form it comes in. And right now you are equipped to provide psychosocial support to our students. And I'd love to see you, love to hear about the work that you do as you go back to your schools. And in your communities, you can pull up the child protection officers and have a session with them. There's nothing stopping you. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for your families. Thank you to all our partners for giving us this wonderful morning. There's a lot of work ahead. And you and I both know that, especially with the new school year, but I pray that the good Lord gives you the strength to carry on the work that you do with much commitment and passion. This is not the time for personal agendas. This is the time for us to come together and give the best to the communities that we're serving. So with these words, congratulations once again. You've made us proud. You've made our partners proud. You've made your families and your children and your spouses proud. Education shouldn't stop here. Education shouldn't stop here. Please continue to upgrade yourself professionally, and it will take you a long way. So with these words, thank you once again, and congratulations. So big congratulations to all the graduates. Thank you.
I confirm that all graduates present have met the requirements of their course of study as conferred by TAFE Queensland and delivered through the Australian Pacific Training Coalition. Honourable Minister, Acting Australian High Commissioner, representatives from the facility, from government, distinguished guests, please join me in offering our congratulations to all our graduates today.
me.